Well, it was you and your friends who were in the same age group, and one of them always had that older brother, like 4 years older,
Yep.
that wanted to show his dominance. And yeah, and it was like King Kong at the top of the Empire State Building, swatting out the planes.
I started off as a fan of Dragon Ball Z first.
Everyone loves it.
Princess Peach or Toad.
Yeah, go on. Raphael.
Like, what am I watching, man?
What's going on, folks? It is Scott Churchson from Streampunk Entertainment, and once again, chatting with awesome people. Today, I got the privilege, the honor, and the delight to chat with a comedian from a Gen X generation, comedians that are oftentimes forgotten about in our generation. He is a recent winner of America's Funniest People. Congratulations on that. Alfonso Ribeiro from, Carlton fame, actually was the one that, announced the award for you. He also has a TikTok channel, which we'll talk a little bit about later, with 167,000 followers on there. So there's cred across all generations, including the youngins. But today, joining us, Mr. Dan Regan. Sir, how the heck are you, man?
After that introduction, now the pressure's on me to come through. So thank you. I'm very good. How are you?
Good, man. I appreciate it. The pressure is, like I said, on me to make sure I get it right, too. But yeah, congratulations, America's Funniest People.
Clues, I'm getting old. Now I understand why my grandparents ate dinner at 4:30 p.m. and were ready for bed by 9 p.m. I have living room readers, bedroom readers, bathroom readers, car readers, and just in case readers.
Talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk, we'll talk about your growth into comedy and especially Gen X comedy in our generation in a little bit. But first, let's talk about America's Funniest People. How did that come about? What happened there? Give me a story.
Last September, one of the producers reached out to me and said, we're looking to start a new show. It's not a spinoff. It's a continuation of America's Funniest Home Videos, or videos now. There's no more home videos. America's Funniest People. And we saw one of your videos and we're interested in using it. Would you be okay with that? And I said, yeah, I'd be okay with that. Sure. So, so the ball started rolling there, and there was a lot of back and forth, discussing it. And yeah, we set it up, and I've known about it since, like I said, last September. We filmed it, and it sat. I couldn't say anything about it until it actually aired, which was just a little over a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the rest. It was a great time doing it. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot about the production side because when they filmed me in my house, it was a lot of hours to get that shot that you saw for maybe 15 seconds. I have so much respect for the people that do that, what they have to go through, and trying to make me look decent, which is not easy to do. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for all of that. So it was fun. I had a great time doing it.
Clues, I'm getting older, sent in by Dan Regan from Hamilton, New Jersey. Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
What else has getting older taught you?
It's taught me to take things a little easier, a little slower, because when you get up, things start to creak and ache a little bit. So yes, definitely take things slower.
Yeah, I know that one really well. Yeah. Congratulations, $5,000. Great job.
Nice. And yeah, the amount of NDAs that you had to sign in this particular case and all the stuff, the legal aspect of it on something at that level. But yeah, congratulations, like I said there. This all came about, though, from, your comedy growth. Now I'm figuring in this case here, it didn't start out on, actually, let me back this up. How did it start? Because right now, like I said, I found you on, I think it was Facebook or YouTube, probably YouTube, I think, and resonated because of the fact that in my case, I turned 50 years old in under 3 months. So I'm right in that Gen X window there too. But how did all this come about? Where did we go? Where do we kick off from?
Well, I started doing stand-up comedy in 2003, and I talked about just anything. I talked about marriage. I started talking back then about getting older, but back then I was only in my 30s, so it didn't really sound so good. A 30-year-old complaining about getting old, but
they do now, though.
Yeah, exactly. Now it resonates a lot more. But then I just started doing stand-up. I fell into it. I loved it. I still love it. And then when social media hit, it just gave comedians just a lot more roads to go down and opportunities to reach more people. And especially, like I said, with me getting older, sitting at home on my couch filming a video and getting people to laugh as opposed to driving a half hour and going sitting at a club for all
Mhm.
night. Let's see which one I want to choose. So that's kind of like why I do it. I do more social media now than I do stand up too.
Gen X in one statement. Back in the 1900s, when we were growing up in the 80s, we weren't allowed to stay in the house and we wanted to be outside. Now that we're nearing 80, we don't want to leave the house and we want nothing to do with being outside.
Dude, maybe this happened to you too, but when I did stand up, I hated it because I hated the fact that people were like, all right, asshole, I've had a really shitty day, make me laugh, go.
Mhm.
Give you that look. The pressure on you at that one, just I could never get over that myself. So yeah, in your case, your production budget's pretty low, cell phone, occasionally car, you know,
Mhm.
just in this case here, when the ideas come in, are they just like random things where you're just like life, the universe, and everything?
Yeah, the thing is, and it is funny, but it's not a joke. But my brain never shuts off. Like even when
Mm.
I'm trying to sleep, you probably have the same thing. I'm constantly. It doesn't matter the situation I'm in. I'm always looking for the comic angle or hook
Mhm.
for anything. So my brain never shuts off. So I got it. I started writing stuff down before cell phones. I would have paper. I'd write my notes on napkins or whatever I had just in handy. That I bought myself a notebook. Yeah, so that's thoughts come to me. Some are okay, some stink, and I throw them all out there because I never know what's going to hit. And
Mhm.
you should know that you write a joke thinking like, oh yeah, people are going to love it, and then you hear crickets, and vice versa, where
Yep.
all right, this is just not whatever, and then wow, that's the stuff that people like. So you never know.
But the beauty of it is the fact that I think we kicked off this in the beginning, is the fact that as Gen Xers, we're often forgotten about. I mean, right
Yep.
now it's all the boomers, it's about, even the millennials, but, especially the under 35 crowd. So for those of us in our late 40s, early 50s in that area, we just kind of sit on the sidelines. My wife talks about this all the time. It's the fact it's like, where do we show up? And it's like, we don't. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and like we said that we kind of like this, leave us alone and we're good on our own, and we're the ones sitting if at a get together on the couch watching TV or petting their dog, basically.
Glass of
And
wine, a beer, whatever, just sitting on the sidelines and just watch the fire.
yep, exactly.
Explain to someone who might be a younger generation, what is it like being Gen X, both then and now?
It's I guess I understand now when my parents or grandparents would always talk about like the golden era, like their
Mm.
time and their music back in the day. Back in the day, we throw that around all the time now, and I get it now because it's Gen X. For me personally, it's reminiscing about the '80s, about
Mhm.
growing up, about like the '80s had a feel to it. I know that's you would understand that, but
Mhm.
somebody that didn't grow up in the '80s maybe wouldn't like. There's certain songs that if I had to explain the '80s to people, I would say listen to "Cruel Summer" from Bananarama,
Mhm.
or "True" from Spandau Ballet. Like certain '80s songs just capture that feeling, and that to me is Gen X. I know we talk about Gen X doesn't care and like, your mom and all that stuff. Like that was like our go-to joke. But to me, it's deeper than that. It's a feeling that sometimes it's hard to really describe. So you try to put out commentary that maybe can relate to people that, grew up in the '80s.
Our underserved demographic. But yeah, the response is, stop talking about mom jokes. I just got off yours. It
Yeah,
was
exactly.
always the running joke that we had. I don't know if you had that back, growing up, but that was the one line we had.
We did, and we had another one where like if somebody says like like man, that was easy. Oh yeah, by the way, how's your mom? Like one of those deals. Like that was like the go-to.
It's funny because you did a video recently about lawn darts. And now I
Mhm.
played lawn darts as a kid, and you played lawn darts, and we came from the era where we had a game called Kill the Guy with the Ball, which had basically one rule. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out, you
Yep.
know. And it's funny because kids nowadays are just they couldn't fathom that kind of stuff. They couldn't fathom the idea of playing with something like that, or playing a game like butts up where the job is to basically hit someone in the head with a tennis ball. You
Yeah.
know, um,
And that yeah, like King of the Hill, same thing. I
yep,
mentioned that.
played that one. Yeah.
Um, King of the Mountain, whatever you want to call it. Like back in the day, it seemed like houses were being built all over the place. Everything was getting built up, so they always had those dirt mounds. And we didn't need a soccer ball, or we just climbed up the hill and tried to throw everybody else off, and that was our entertainment.
And you had that one big kid that basically nobody could move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, it was you and your friends who were in the same age group, and one of them always had that older brother, like 4 years older,
Yep.
that wanted to show his dominance. And and it was like King Kong at the top of the Empire State Building swatting out the planes.
And when you're playing like dodgeball or kickball or anything like that, he was the one that always was picked first.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You always had that one kid that was always picked first, and you knew full well, even in gym class. And I don't know, it's kind of sad that we don't get that kind of fun anymore, man.
No, well, you know why? Because there's not many places to build anymore. First of all, there's no more dirt mounds going up, and now it has to be chemically tested and make sure it's good for the environment. Yeah, there's a lot more hoops you got to jump through now to have some fun. Yes.
In our age, we just drank from the garden hose and occasionally Windex, but yeah. In your case right now, I mean, I know you're here in Jersey, same as I am. Important question. Is there a Central Jersey? We got to clarify this as someone from Central Jersey. Is there one?
Absolutely. Because like you said, I've lived in Central Jersey. So there definitely is one. There's North, South, and Central. Central's kind of the borderline of New York and Philadelphia sports team loyalties. And I'm right on the cusp of that. So absolutely is.
Okay. Where is your definition of North and South then?
North Jersey starts... See, I'm going to get real Jersey on you now. North Jersey starts exit 9 and above.
Okay, like James. Is that Jamesburg? Oh, no, that's New Brunswick. New Brunswick. Sorry, New Brunswick.
Yeah.
Okay. Rutgers.
So about exit 9 and above is North Jersey. I would say exit 5 is anything south.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, no. You know what? No. 6, I would say 5 or 6.
So like Ben Franklin Bridge and all that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Being here in Bergen County, for us, anything below below like Westfield is considered central, and anything below like Brick is considered south. I know you'll disagree with me on that one, but
well, we all, it all depends on where you grow up and what you got accustomed to. So, but I'm sure people in South Jersey are saying no, North Jersey starts here, and they'll disagree with us as well.
Sure. In this case, best movie, your favorite movie growing up when you were a kid.
Of all time, like any genre?
Any genre from that era.
My favorite 80s movie that to this day just captures what I think is Gen X and 80s is Breakfast Club.
Fair enough. Safe bet.
Yeah, because it has everything in that movie. It has cliques, it has feelings, it has people to try to hide. It's like I can talk an hour about that movie. So I just love doing what I'm doing. It makes me it motivates me when I see people that are just, liking the stuff I'm putting out there. Just like when you're on stage, you hear the laughs. All right, whatever I said resonated with some people, and that's great. So I just want to continue doing what I'm doing as long as I can, as long as I have a phone and a face. You're going to see it, unfortunately, But yeah, just continue doing what I'm doing. I don't try to set any goals because, like how I've got the opportunities I've received so far, it's just they've come without me trying to like wish them or pray for them or anything like that. It's just they come along, and I'm very grateful for them, and that's kind of the plan I want to go moving forward.
Nice. And last question, I think in this case here, we'll wrap it up here. How can people find you on social media? It's Dave Horton one.
I am Dan Regan Comedy on everything. So if you have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Dan Regan Comedy, and you'll see my face and my floating head, as people like to say, videos all over. So
nice. All right. Yeah, we'll wrap it up at this point. I appreciate the time, Dan. Anyway, this is, like I said, chatting with awesome people. My name is Scott Churchson with Streampunk Entertainment. Definitely check out Dan. I found him, via YouTube, and it was just genius. This is more of basically me wanting to just reach out and be like, dude, you're awesome. Let's talk. Sometimes with some of the songs we have on our side, it's more business minded. They're focused. They're promoting something. This was more of just like a fan service for me personally, because my wife loves your comment. I will sit there and I will playlist like 4 or 5 in a row when you come out with them, and I'll just throw them up on TV. And my wife loves everything you do, man. So thank you for that, big time.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. I really do appreciate it. And if anytime you want me back, I'd be happy to chat some more. We've got so much we could talk about. So this has been a great pleasure for me as well.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Stay well. Take care. And as always, stay awesome. She lost her mom to cancer last year. So, yeah, kids, you don't realize what cancer does until you see what cancer does.
Yeah, I know.
You helped her through that. You know, you can never underestimate how powerful laughter is when you need it the most. So, yeah, that kind of stuff, it helped her through because, you know, in this case, we moved her mother in with us in the guest room, you know, and it was night and day and all this kind of stuff. So the short little clips that you had were very easily available, you know, for those little moments when her mom was asleep or things like this, just to kind of take her brain out of it a little bit. So, dude, seriously, thank you, man. Fucking thank you.
Well, yeah, you know what? Like, well, I don't know what to say. I mean, that's I don't want to say thank you, but you know, like I'm glad that
you're allowed
she
to
was,
say thank you there, man. It's 100% fine. You know,
but I'm just glad that she had a little bit of a break once in a while, like a little bit of like getting away from, because I've had cancer in my family as well, and I know what that, like you said, I know I've seen what it does to people, and yeah, it that's like the messages I get sometimes too. Like way back when I wasn't on TikTok or anything, I was on Twitter. I had a message once from a woman, and she's like, I just want to let you know your jokes are getting me through the day. Terminal cancer, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so we kept in touch. We friended on Facebook. Unfortunately, she passed not long after that. I'm getting freaking chills, fuck. And I still every year on her birthday, they left her Facebook page up. I'll say happy birthday. You know, what you said to me meant more than what anything I'm sure I said toward you. So yeah, that's the stuff that I think as a comedian, we don't do it for that, but that beyond anything else is one of the things that it just humbles you and just makes you appreciate, you know, life.